Good morning, everyone. My name is Fabian Pfortmüller. I'm originally from Switzerland, as you probably can tell from the crazy accent. I would love to tell you today a little bit about what we do at Sandbox, because I think it fits in perfectly into the discussion about where is entrepreneurship education going. And I love the discussion before with all the incubators and accelerators, because what Sandbox does is the same thing as the accelerators do, but we try to do it through a community. Can we help and support entrepreneurs all over the world through a very trusted and somewhat structured community? That's the problem we're trying to solve. And let me see, where am I? Here. And Daniel mentioned it before, and several people on the panel mentioned before, it's all about an ecosystem. It's all like entrepreneurship is all about building an ecosystem. And we're trying to be the glue in the ecosystem. We're trying to bring all those people together and make them best friends. And I would love to tell a little bit how we do that. Quick overview about us. We're 750 members worldwide, each carefully screened, went through a detailed application process. We have 61 ambassadors who run our 25 cities worldwide. We're 3 years old and definitely are intended to go for at least another 3,000 years. We're in for the long run. Who do we talk to? I had to bring up the slides as I felt like we're so close to it. We're trying to identify the most promising doers all over the world in their early 20s. We're looking for people who have a real track record of doing, but here's the but. We're trying to find them from as many backgrounds as possible. The easiest thing for me to find, and that connects to Kay's presentation early this morning, is male white tech entrepreneurs. That's, for me, the easiest thing to find as Sandbox. And so we're trying to go in the other direction and find the designers, the entrepreneurial artists, the documentary maker, and kind of mix them all together. So Sandbox, right now, when people graduate from Sandbox, we want them to have three things. We want them to have built lifelong friendships, really strong, really true friendships with the people around them, with their peer group. We want them to have learned from each other, and we want them to have access on a global scale. Access to mentors, access to capital, access to things. They're easily able to find things on a global scale. And I put it also up on that slide just to show, I think, what we don't do as much, and I think where people like the incubators we've seen before do an amazing job, is giving access to capital, giving access to space. That's much less what we do. So this is the most important thing. This is what we're trying to recreate every single day at Sandbox. How can we create this moment? This is the quintessential Sandbox moment. And the way we do this is we're hyper-local and at the same time global. We call it micro-global. I don't know if that's a real word, but we use it anyways. So we're in Europe, we're in North America, we're in Asia, we're in Africa, we're just starting all over the Middle East. We're doing more South America soon. We're opening our third city in China, second city in India. We really like growing all over the world. And our plan is to go from currently 25 cities to 250 cities in the next 2 years. The way it works is we have a ton of events. We counted over 400 events in the last 3 years. Those are tiny events of usually, as you can see, anywhere from like just 8 people having dinner to kind of larger parties. They are as simple as possible. And one thing we've learned is that the most important thing for us as a community is informality. We've learned the best thing to create friendships and true relationships is make it as informal as possible. Daniel mentioned before how everyone lives together at the Unreasonable Institute and how the mentors are there, and that's really where kind of the magic happens. We're trying to recreate that in every single one of the cities. This is, for example, a picture of our global summit. I guess it's not what the usual global summit looks like. And the second component is learning. And we have a theory at Sandbox. The theory is that every single individual within Sandbox has at least one superpower, probably more. And we ask you as Sandboxers to share that with everyone else. We believe the learning can just as much happen among the peer-to-peer group as it can happen with mentors. And so we developed this fellowship program. It's a 3-year fellowship program that people go through, and we're rolling this out right now all over the world, where in year 1, we provide a peer-to-peer organized MBA, where each Sandboxer, we organize Sandboxes in classes of 20 people, 10 men, 10 women, totally diverse from all kinds of backgrounds, and we ask each one of the 20 to teach their superpower to everyone else. So if you're in the class, 19 times in that year, you will get taught the superpower, and once you will get to teach. This is one of the recent superpowers, which the Sandboxer is a former Olympic swimmer, and he felt it was his superpower to teach everyone else how to swim. We have everything like, I just came from an event 2 nights ago, which was about how to face your fears. A Sandboxer taught how to face your fears. An event that happened 2 weeks ago was about the power of saying no. One Sandbox said he learned a lot about how to say no, and that was what he wanted to teach. So as you can imagine, like, it's not the classical classroom things that we teach, but it's very applicable. And it's very important for those entrepreneurs to hear those things. Year 2 is very focused on mentorship. And also, as I heard before, like we try to make this a very organic relationship. In 15 cities right now worldwide, we have something called open office hours, where once a month our senior mentors just have 2 hours where any Sandboxer can come in and ask any question. Sometimes no one shows up, sometimes 10 people stand in his door. And we found that be a very good and very scalable way that we can do all over the world. And I'm just going to keep moving to the last part, I think, what we do. People nowadays are solving global problems. More and more entrepreneurs are not solving local problems, they're solving global problems. And you never know what you're going to need in this global world. Our community is the best way of finding what you need. And here is a young German Sandboxer who recently moved to Delhi to research sustainable inclusive business model innovation. He's from Germany, he's studying in the UK, and suddenly he's in Delhi. The community plugged him in within hours. Within hours, he has contacts, he knows where to go, he has people to ask. We also have crazy things, such as people asking to find Somali pirates, or people looking for the Queen of England. And I kid you not, people have found contacts to the Queen of England through Sandbox. Because, as you guys know, someone knows someone who knows someone who knows someone. And that's how our community works. We provide the trusted framework that those people are willing to share the contacts and that they can have those conversations. We recently did a survey and asked people, what is the most important thing for you as part of Sandbox? And in the top 3 thing was this, couch surfing. People said, the most important thing for me is that I just go all over the world and just stay with people on their couches. I never have to pay for a hotel. And as you can imagine, no better way of creating friendships than on staying on each other's couches. I'm just going to go over that. I want to close on the following note. While I think we are here to help those people build and grow, I think there's a notion behind that that leads beyond that. And we think that while it's important for them to build amazing organizations and businesses, we also believe that if the leaders of tomorrow meet today and build true friendships and really strong bonds together and actually maybe even create organizations together, I think tomorrow's world will look different. And I think that's something that drives us every single day.